What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live stream. Today we're going to be doing a big transfer special. It is my last live stream of 2020 in what has been a fantastic year for the JSGC channel. The growth of my channel has mainly been down to all of our transfer updates that we've been doing since last January, and then through the summer as well. I thought it's only fitting that we do end our last live stream on a live transfer special. Now, normally, I would like to have ended my last live stream on doing a live watch along. We know that with Manchester City and the game against Everton being postponed, it means now the best case scenario means that Man City won't be playing again until Sunday against Chelsea, and even that game is in doubt for City to be able to play that game. And so I did want to go live for you guys. I felt like because I couldn't give that live stream to you guys on Monday, I felt like I owed a live stream, and so I thought January transfer window's just round the corner. News coming in thick and fast with transfer news. I thought this is a fantastic opportunity actually to get in a nice transfer special, something we've not actually had a chance to do since September in the days of Lionel Messi getting linked with Manchester City. So I thought, why not? Let's do it. So, before we crack on with this live transfer special, make sure, like always, you subscribe to my channel. We can see on the live subscriber count on the side, I'm on 14,400 subscribers. I want to hit 14,500 subscribers before 2020 ends. We're now less than 30 subscribers away from that, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also, leave a thumbs up on this live stream if you do enjoy this video. As always with our live stream, minimum aim is 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. If you are watching this, please do leave a thumbs up. Social media links, they're in the description below and also on the banner below me too. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, I will be retweeting sources and keeping you up to date throughout all of the January transfer window, so worthwhile follow me on my Twitter. Also my Instagram too, as I'll keep you up to date with everything happening in the life of JSGC, including the background, because I'm going to be doing some stuff very soon, so do stay tuned for that as well. Email also in the description below and on the banner too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And as David Silver 400 has said there, JSGC is indeed sponsored by OneFootball, the best footballing app out there. Keep you up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, all the latest news, all the latest football scores and statistics too. So go and download the OneFootball app through the link at the top of my description. We do, of course, have a promo video, which I'm going to roll for you right now. This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date. So thank you very much to the legends at OneFootball. As you can see, my phone there, we've got OneFootball on there. Make sure you do too, the best footballing app out there. You can click the link at the top of my description. That will take you through to go and download the OneFootball app. So, transfer specials. Let's speak about transfers. So, we're going to start from top to bottom and work our way chronologically with who we've got tuning in. So if you've got any requests, things you want me to talk about and give you updates on, just leave it in the chat. So firstly, we've got SP11 tuning in once more. Thank you very much for that. Saying Manchester City need Houssem Aouar. No update on Aouar, of course. Arsenal interested in his signature. I'm hoping City will make a move because I think he is a world-class central midfielder who will improve Manchester City in the middle, but no news on that as of yet. I'm sure we'll have updates through January on that, so do stay tuned for that. We've got Andrew in the chat with a what's going on, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you once more for tuning in once more. We've got Heron as well, saying Manchester City needing a striker who could get a lot of goals. A goal-scoring striker don't come cheap. I can imagine Manchester City possibly targeting that in the summer rather than in January. Of course, Man City getting linked. I've done a video on it already with Diego Costa. Don't see Manchester City making a move for Diego Costa, in my honest opinion, because I don't think he suits Man City's style that much, but he is an option for City to consider. Patson Daka is another player that has also been linked with Manchester City too. Not too sure if I see City making a move for any of these players that I've mentioned so far. In January, City though, as Money Fernandez makes a good point of there, saying City need a left back. That's where I'm hearing rumours of what Manchester City are wanting to make a move for. A left back could be the position that Manchester City do have a look at. Of course, we've previously been linked with Nicolas Tagliafico, which I will speak about later in this video, and of course the man we've put on the thumbnail and in the title, Theo Hernandez, as well, of AC Milan. These are two players that Man City could well have a look at in the January transfer market. Now, we've also got David Silver 400 tuning in, so thank you very much for tuning in. We've got Mr. Super Sid moderating the chat for me as well. Yo, thank you for tuning in, Aaron. That's much appreciated. Chris, thanks for tuning in as well. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? David, it is, OneFootball, the best footballing app out there. You want to download the app? Just press the link at the top of my description. Takes you to the download page. Download the OneFootball app now, which would be much appreciated by me. It also helps to support the future content that I do create on this channel. So SP11 wanting Houssem Aouar as well. I would like Aouar. I just don't see Man City making the move, if I'm completely honest, but it would be nice if City do make a move. Talha, I'm not sure how you say your name. I probably butchered your name. I apologise for that. When will Man City's next match be? City still scheduled for their match against Chelsea on Sunday afternoon. We will be doing a live watch along if that game does go ahead. If City's players anymore test positive for COVID-19, then I imagine they'll have to shut everything down. Deep clean, players self-isolating 10 days. Man City currently not in training, so they are currently, I would presume, isolating at home. If that is the case and that City don't come back to training, then City will be missing that match against Chelsea and also more than likely the match against Manchester United as well. If not, and COVID-19 hasn't spread and City have managed to gain some kind of control of their bubble, then Man City's match with Chelsea could still go ahead. I imagine a decision will more than likely be made. Well, we'll probably know by the end of the week, if I'm completely honest, as Hong Kong Fui says their training set to resume on Friday, so we'll see if the City players do resume on Friday with their training. If that's the case, then we should be able to resume our Premier League season, and we've just got an extra game to play against Everton. So we'll see what happens there. Now, Andrew, thank you for tuning in, saying City have been linked with Hernandez. Is an amazing signing, but not sure how much it would cost or if AC Milan would be willing sellers. AC Milan will definitely not be willing sellers. He would be a big money transfer move for City to spend money on. We're still in the pandemic. We've still got a pandemic market. And so the price for players should be cheaper than what it normally is for what you'd expect for top quality players, including Theo Hernandez. Personally, if I'm thinking about left backs and how much City should be spending on them, it all depends on who City want to make a move for. City seem to have had 50 to 55 million pounds is normally their go-to area when signing fullbacks. A similar price to what Benjamin Mendy was, a similar price to what João Cancelo was, and also a similar price to what Kyle Walker was. And I don't see City wanting to spend too much more on a fullback, so I reckon that's probably the go-to price that City would be looking for. Whether AC Milan would be accepting that amount of money remains to be seen. Going off the season that Theo Hernandez has had, I would have thought AC Milan would be looking for top dollar, looking for a little bit more, so we'll see what happens with that. M1 wanting some Haaland news. Erling Haaland, he's going to be remaining with Borussia Dortmund until at the very least the summer. Erling Haaland, he's going to cost Manchester City, it's believed to be north of 100 million euros. We're believed to be looking at a similar price to what Manchester United were quoted for Jadon Sancho. There is a release clause in the contract of Erling Haaland, which is around £75 million. It's believed, according to reliable sources, that includes Fabrizio Romano, one of the most reliable out there, this clause does not come active until the summer of 2022. And so if Manchester City want to sign Erling Haaland in the summer of 2021, Manchester City are going to have to pay more than what his release clause would be of £75 million. Of course, Erling Haaland, the price on him, very expensive. It also does not include in that fee agent fees and how much Raiola would want. Raiola doesn't have good working relations with Chiqui or Pep Guardiola. He's criticised them in the past. So do I see City making a move for him? If the price is right, yes. If not, I reckon Lautaro Martinez could well be a more realistic transfer for Manchester City to target rather than Erling Haaland. I'm going off realism here, not who I want. I want Erling Haaland. I would pay whatever it takes to bring Erling Haaland in. That's my opinion. Will City do that, though? That remains to be seen. Gamingly, have we been linked with Lucas Digne from Everton? We've not been linked too much with Lucas Digne, if I'm completely honest. I would have thought Everton would probably want a lot of money for him, more money than what City would be willing to spend, and so not really heard too much on that, and I'd probably push that one to the back burner. Now, Talahar wanting an update on Lionel Messi. The update on Lionel Messi is very simple. Lionel Messi stays at Barcelona until the summer. There will be no further clarification on Lionel Messi's future until the summer. That is because Barcelona need to go through their presidential election. Once they've gone through their presidential election, Messi will then sit down with their new president and discuss whether he will stay at Barcelona or not. At this moment in time, Lionel Messi looks very unhappy at Barcelona. They've still not got a new president. That would be why. He's wanting a new challenge. He's wanting to challenge for the top prizes, including the Champions League. And he's wanting to win the big domestic trophies as well, which is including La Liga. And Barcelona, they're on a little bit of a decline. And so right now it would be a good time for Lionel Messi to leave and have one last dance, so to quote, from the summer with a top quality team, such as Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, who Messi's worked with before, such as a Juventus, a PSG, a Bayern Munich, a team that's capable of performing at the top level, that will win the top prizes, that will win their domestic leagues, that will challenge for the Champions League. That is what the future of Lionel Messi depends on. And I would say keep an eye on their Champions League match against PSG. Barcelona go out against PSG, going out in the last 16. I don't think Lionel Messi will be very happy with that. There's a lot of player power involved at Barcelona, and they don't really come much more powerful in terms of a player than Lionel Messi. And the one advantage Manchester City have if they do want to sign Messi is that we do have former Barcelona chiefs Soriano and Chiqui in charge at Manchester City. Worked with Messi before, he's got no problem working with them again. Worked with Pep Guardiola before, loved his time with Pep Guardiola. And so that does make it just that little bit more realistic for Manchester City. That's our unique selling point ahead of teams like PSG and the other teams that I've just mentioned. However, I reckon Messi will stay at Barcelona. I think he will sign a new deal at Barcelona. I just do not see him leaving his boyhood club. He's been there since he was a child. Okay, he was approached at a very young age in Argentina to come over to Barcelona. He's been there a very long time, and I can see him ending his career there. So we'll see. We will keep my eyes and ears open with what will be happening with regards to that. The chat's going a bit crazy. I'm trying my best to keep up with everything, but I'll just give it my best shot. So Mr. Conjo wanted an update on Nicolas Tagliafico. Not too much with regards to Tagliafico. I was under the impression that he'd signed a new contract at Ajax in this winter, which now means he's going to be a little bit more of a difficult transfer for Manchester City to get done to sign Tagliafico. Tagliafico isn't really of the age that City would be looking for. He's more of a short-term solution to a problem that we have at left-back. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure if City will make a move. If the price is right for Manchester City and the right players leave in the right position, I can see City potentially dipping into the transfer market this January. I only see left-back being the position that City may have a look at. And I say that because João Cancelo's having that good of a season. He's not only impressing at left-back, he's impressing at right-back as well. Which means we're in an ideal situation that should we sign a left-back, that we've got two quality options at right-back in Walker and Cancelo, that we don't have to keep using Cancelo as a left-back. He can be used if we want to alternate in defensive midfield, for example, or another position, and bring in a left-back to help with them with that position instead. We do have Ake that can cover there. Of course, Benjamin Mendy is a left-back as well. He's very injury-prone, and to me, not very reliable, and so it just leaves Alexander Zinchenko. Unfortunately, as much as I like Alexander Zinchenko and I think he's an absolutely sound human being, he would have to leave Manchester City for us to sign a left-back. And that, to me, I think we need to be ruthless, would be the correct decision for Manchester City to make at this stage of the season. Zinchenko isn't of the quality that we are looking for at left-back. And so Zinchenko, if he's not going to be used in his preferred position of a midfielder or an attacking midfielder, then to me, he should be sold to a club that will utilise Zinchenko, because that's going to benefit him. And like I said, he's a really nice person, and he's worked really hard with Manchester City, and he's always played wherever he's been told to play, and always put in a good shift for Manchester City as well. I think City owe it to Zinchenko that if he was to leave, that he gets to leave to a club that he wants to leave to, and also he's leaving to go and play regular first-team football, whether that be to a team in the Premier League or not. Zinchenko, update on him, Wolves are still interested. I think that would be a very good move for Zinchenko. Apparently, though, Zinchenko isn't keen on that move, and he's wanting to move to a top team, a Champions League team, a team that's competing for trophies on a regular basis like what Manchester City are. So it might be quite hard for Zinchenko to leave. If Zinchenko does leave Manchester City, though, I can definitely see us dipping in this market for us to try and sign a left-back. That's what I reckon. Right, just flicking through the chat, we've got lots of people tuning in. We've got lots of people interacting too, which is absolutely brilliant. So thank you everyone for that. A random Man City fan, yo, thank you for tuning in. I am very well, thank you. How are you? Mohammed wanted me to pick between De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandez. I think Bruno Fernandez, as much as a lot of people are going to maybe disagree with this, I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's a fantastic player. And I would like, when we were linked with him at the time, I'd like to have seen Manchester City sign him, because he's a very creative attacking midfielder. He's a decent player. I'm going to pick De Bruyne, though, because I think De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world. However, I do think that Bruno Fernandes is a very good midfielder, and it is a good coup there for Manchester United, as much as it pains me to say that. David Silver 400, really glad you mentioned Jack Grealish. You want me to pick between Aouar or Jack Grealish? I'd rather have Aouar, but I'm glad you've mentioned Grealish. Grealish is something to keep an eye on. Apparently, Manchester City and Manchester United want to test Aston Villa's waters with regards to Grealish. Apparently, we're looking at north of £80 million, which to me is a lot of money for a player that's... it's disrespectful of me to say, but he's playing for Aston Villa. And so unless he's setting the Premier League alight, and he's making it happen for England on the international stage as well, and it just shows that he's complete levels above the levels of where Aston Villa are right now, and instead he is like a Champions League player, that's only when I'd be paying the big money, the £80+ million. To me, Jack Grealish, whilst I think he's a good player, and I'd be very happy for Man City to sign him, because I do think he's a good quality player, I don't think he's anything better than squad rotation at Manchester City. Where would Jack Grealish come into Manchester City's squad? Who would he replace? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Is he an improvement on Manchester City's squad? And whilst he'd bring some fresh ideas, and whilst he'd bring fresh energy to City's midfield, and trust me, City's midfield does need that, is it worth paying £80 million for a player that also comes with a little bit of baggage? And he definitely comes with baggage, 100%. You think Benjamin Mendy's bad for his driving, or you think Kyle Walker was bad with breaking lockdown rules? go and have a look at what Jack Grealish has been up to for the last year or so, and you'll see what I mean when I say baggage with him. And I just see City not going near that, which is a big shame actually, because Jack Grealish is a really good player, and if he was to put his head down and become really focused, he could improve and become even better. He could become then player, like I just said, a Champions League player, rather than a player that's of a good Premier League quality, rather than competing in the top ends of the Champions League. And that all comes about through determination and hard work, and unfortunately for Grealish, at times he just lets the lifestyle get the better of him, which can be said about a lot of players, if I am completely honest. Douglas Luiz is another good speaking point there that Zulu has mentioned, and also Andrew Davis has mentioned as well. Douglas Luiz is definitely something for City to consider in the summer. Man City have the option in the summer to sign Douglas Luiz because we've got a buyback option. It's believed to be somewhere between 25 and 30 million pounds. Fernandinho, I'm confident when I say this, will be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. His contract is up. There are no talks going on right now for Fernandinho's contract to be extended at Manchester City. And whilst it hurts me to say that, because I think Fernandinho is a top quality player, he is a top-class professional, knows exactly what he's doing on the pitch. He's Premier League experienced. He's a wonderful football player. And replacing him is going to be very difficult. Just like we found it difficult to replace Vincent Kompany and David Silva. Fernandinho is another player we're going to struggle to replace. We've had a look at our targets. It seems to have just been identified as either Denis Zakaria of Borussia Monchengladbach. Monchengladbach will not sell to us, by the way, before the big Champions League last 16 match that we've got with them. And so that seemingly right off the table for this January, but certainly an option for us to consider in the summer. No price has been mentioned. Douglas Luiz, like I said, we've got that buyback clause. We do have a price. He's having a good season for Aston Villa. Got to ask ourselves the question once more, is Douglas Luiz of the quality that City are looking for? City were very happy a couple of seasons ago to keep Douglas Luiz. We just couldn't get him on a work permit, which is why he had to be sold. That's why we've got the buyback clause there, in case he does do very well at Aston Villa. He has done very well at Aston Villa. City could well bring him back. Can he make that step up? Can he become Manchester City's Fernandinho 2.0? That is the question. I'm happy with either Douglas Luiz or Zakaria to sign for Manchester City, though, if I'm completely honest. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. Houssem putting in a good opinion there, saying City should be going in for Diego Costa. Diego Costa, a free contract. He was believed his price was worth £22.7 million. Atletico Madrid have cancelled his contract. They've turned their nose up at £22.7 million. And so he's available to be signed on a free contract. Should Manchester City make a move? Like I said, go and leave your thoughts on that. Your thoughts in the comments, on that in my last video that I did for you just earlier today, where we speak more in detail about Diego Costa and whether City should be looking at a temporary option to the situation with Sergio Aguero, who I might add is also not having contract talks with Manchester City right now, and his contract, like Fernandinho, is up in the summer. Sergio Aguero could be leaving Manchester City in the summer. Fernandinho and Aguero leaving in the same window. That's massive for Manchester City. That is massive. That's two players that have done great service at Manchester City. Two absolute tremendous top quality players. We're going to be in for some summer to try and replace them, so it's going to be very difficult. Brian, I'm very happy you mentioned Memphis Depay there. Memphis Depay is believed to be available for around £5 million. That, to me, is a very good deal. And I would, if City were looking for a temporary option, to pursue that, because Memphis Depay can play on the left, on the right, and through the centre as well. He's quick. He's good with the ball as well. And so I think that's a kind of a no-brainer if City wanted a cheaper option out there to help us along from now until the end of the season. And I'm sure we could find space in our squad for more a long-term position for Memphis Depay as well, because I think he's a good player. He's just a player that did struggle whilst at Manchester United, but if you're playing under, I think it was Louis van Gaal at the time, I'd probably struggle playing football. I think lots of people had struggled playing because that United team was just wouldn't link, it wasn't connected. Nothing was really working. And so Memphis Depay, would you take a punt on that for £5 million? City struggling to score goals? I wouldn't see a problem with that, if I'm completely honest. Miles, glad you've mentioned another player there, David Alaba. Left back, centre back, defensive midfielder, versatile, just what Manchester City normally look for. However, expensive in wage, believed to be asking for £350,000 per week. If City sign him and put him on that contract, that means he's going to be matching Manchester City's best earners, the Agueros, the Kevin De Bruynes for wage, and that is not how City use or work their wage structure. You earn your way up the pay scale at Manchester City is how City work, and I think that would upset the apple cart, so to speak. And so, for that reason, I don't think City will make a move. However, if we was to make a move, I would be very happy with David Alaba. Can play at left back, can play at centre back, can play at defensive midfield. 3 boxes ticked right there. All positions that City have either struggled with previously in the last few months or are currently struggling with. And so, I would definitely go for David Alaba. However, like I said, with price, not too sure that I see Manchester City doing that. Pre-contract Lionel Messi. Not sure I see a pre-contract on Lionel Messi, if I'm completely honest. The situation is with that, like I said, it needs, or at least in January anyway, it needs Barcelona's new president in place and Messi to sit down with their president to be able to speak on that. And going off what Lionel Messi has said in his latest interview that he's done just a couple of days ago, Lionel Messi has ruled out himself pre-contract and said that he's happy at Barcelona to stay at Barcelona until the summer to see out his contract. Won't speak with other clubs, will only speak once his time at Barcelona is up, if it does end up coming to an end. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. Andrew Davis making a good point. Nunes at Benfica. Having a good season, the striker at Benfica. I think he's probably a little bit expensive. Benfica drive a hard bargain. Benfica, normally, they're looking for their release clause for these players to be met. I'm not too sure what Nunes' release clause is. I'll just have a look now. They only just signed him in the summer, so they won't be too keen on him being sold. So Darwin Nunes signed on a new contract until 2025. So he was signed in the summer, and it's believed his release clause is 150 million euros. And Benfica aren't the type of club that will kind of negotiate on that. So I'd say that's probably an unlikely one, if I'm completely honest. So just having a quick flick through the chat now just to see who everyone else that's currently tuning in. Taz says Pablo Moreno, former Manchester City man. Don't see... Where is Pablo these days? I think he's out on loan, isn't he? Yeah, he's out on loan at Girona. How's he getting on, actually? I normally do it around March time, where I have a look at the stats and how players are performing out on loan. So I'm just using Transfer Market for my current stats. So he scored 1 goal in 15 appearances for Girona. Girona currently competing in the second tier of Spanish football. So yeah. Jack Harrison, he's having a good season with Leeds. Not that I'm aware of, there's a buyback with Jack Harrison, and I don't see Jack Harrison joining Manchester City. I think he's flourishing at Leeds, and I can see him staying there. I think that would probably be best for his career. Rohan asking, why have Atletico Madrid terminated the contract of Diego Costa so abruptly? They're not too impressed with his attitude and how he's playing. Whilst lots of people are looking at Diego Costa and saying he's a really good striker, look at his statistics since he's rejoined Atletico Madrid, and it isn't very impressive at all. And so I presume Atletico Madrid are looking for fresh, younger, more motivated players rather than looking at slower players, older players. And so I think it's more of a out with the old and in with the new type situation there. Nadia, Ruben Neves from Wolves. Wolves have said previously they want more than £100 million for him. Whilst he's a very good player, don't see that one happening. Although I would be very happy if he did sign for Manchester City, Ruben Neves, because I do think he's a top quality player. Andrew Davis wanted an update on John Stones' new contract. It's believed that Manchester City want John Stones on a new contract, and they're currently working on that. I've previously stated in my videos that I wanted John Stones, if he was going to be offered a new contract, to prove his fitness at Manchester City. I've always believed in his quality. Go and watch my videos from the summer, and I've always said I want Stones to stay. I've always valued him. I've always said he's worth more than the figures that have been put out there. I've always said he is a good quality player. He's a player that relies on confidence and relies on fitness. And when things are going well for John Stones, they go very well. And when things go bad, things go very bad. There isn't kind of any medium ground there. And at the moment, John Stones is on a very good high. And to me, long may that continue. I just feel like he's done it now for the last 6 to 8 weeks or so for Man City. I feel like it's hasty, and I'd just hold back. Give him 2 or 3 months, get it to March or April time. If John Stones is still competing right at the top level, putting in top quality performances for Manchester City, I would be willing to give not only John Stones a new contract, I would give him a wage to reflect that he is a first team regular at Manchester City. I'm talking wages that are showing his importance to the team, wages of around Ruben Diaz and what Aymeric Laporte on. These are top quality players, and John Stones has shown that he can form just as good a partnership with either of them. He's a very good player, John Stones. Like I said, the only thing that could ruin his season and ruin his career at Manchester City is injuries and his fitness. And that, to me, is absolutely crucial as to what happens next for John Stones. And whilst if he gets put on a new contract, it's absolutely brilliant news, and I'll be delighted for him. If he picks up an injury right after signing a new contract, all of a sudden we might be back to where he was in the summer, and where Man City said, oh, we want to sell John Stones, and all of a sudden City are getting offered £25 million, which obviously we all know John Stones now isn't a £25 million player. Don't want to say I told you so, but I did say that in the summer. Patson Daka, not had any updates on him so far. All a bit quiet on the Patson Daka front, so I wouldn't have thought City would be making a move in January. João Felix is incredibly unrealistic. Don't see him leaving Atletico Madrid. Dayot Upamecano, no news on him. I imagine that'll probably warm up in the summer, possibly. Although last I saw with RB Leipzig, Upamecano, whilst he had a great Champions League campaign in the summer with Leipzig, not too sure how he's getting on. It's all gone a bit quiet on there, so I don't know if he's still impressing or not over in the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig. But he's another player. He's injury prone. So yeah, there we go. Lots of people are upset that we should have never let Angelino go. Unfortunately for Angelino and his career at Manchester City, Angelino, he plays left wing back, not left back. Two slightly different positions. Left wing back means there's not much defensive responsibility there for Angelino, or certainly a lot less defensive responsibility than what there is at left back. Man City play with left backs. You need to be able to defend. Pep Guardiola's happy with Man City right now, and he's happy because City have learnt how to defend. If we had Angelino in our team, we would start leaking goals again. That's just how it is. Offensively, he's a brilliant player, and he'd get assists for Manchester City, and he'd get goals for Manchester City as well. And he is a wonderful player. However, we don't really play the style that suits Angelino. Angelino suits a back five or a back three, playing as a left wing back rather than a flat four left back that City tend to play with. And so that's why it's not worked for Angelino at Manchester City. Although I think he's a wonderful player, and I certainly, definitely would love Angelino to still be at Manchester City. I will address the no new positive cases, by the way. I'm still just getting through the transfer stuff. I did plan to spend about an hour speaking about transfers, and then we'll spend a few more minutes then speaking about everything else there is to talk about, including that Everton postponement, the postponement of Fulham, the tier announcements that's happened in the UK today, and what that means for football, including Liverpool and Everton, who are now in tier 3, which means they can't have fans as well. We will speak about that. I'm just going to speak strictly about transfers at this moment in time, although we seem to have got through most of the cases. Juan Bernat, not heard anything. In fact, not heard that name in a little while. So there we go. Trevor making a good point. Do I think Stefan's a good enough backup goalkeeper? Yes. Give him a run of games, and I think you'd see the best out of Stefan. He's a sweeper keeper. He's a USA He's their number one international goalkeeper in the United States of America. They were very happy with him at Fortuna Dusseldorf last season as well. He's a top quality goalkeeper. Give him a run of games. There we go. Go from there. Reese making a good point there with Renan Lodi. I did see your tweet actually before, and I did a little bit of digging on that. So I managed to get a little bit more detail, which I will address in my next transfer update. At the moment, though, I just don't see Atletico Madrid selling with Lodi, so that's what I reckon there. Jedi, I think, presuming on about Everton Suarez there. It's a player that's been previously linked with Manchester City in the past. Again, I just don't see Benfica selling these players. So yeah, that's what I reckon. I'm loving all these One Football references in there. Download the One Football app. Link in description at the top. Go and download it. Coming through with all the good news there. Yeah, One Football, absolutely spot on with their news story there. Borussia Dortmund are indeed in for Jayden Braaf. Jayden Braaf, I've said previously on my transfer update that he wanted to sign for Dortmund, but no move has been made from Dortmund to sign Braaf. However, that has changed now. Dortmund are believed to be interested in signing Jayden Braaf. Man City, a price has been put out there, 8 to 10 million euros plus a buy-back clause. That's important, and I say that because Man City want to learn their lesson from the Jadon Sancho transfer. Jadon Sancho is a player that's worth over £100 million. That means that Manchester City, we could have bought back Sancho and sold on for profit, or we could have put a buyback clause there and get a top quality back in Jadon Sancho, or we could have put a sell-on fee there and made profit. That if they sold him for £100 million, if we put a £20 million, a 20% sell-on fee on there, we could have got £20 million back from that £100 million transfer if it had happened in the summer when Sancho was getting linked with Manchester United. And so City wanting to move on from that, learn their lesson, and do the same with Jayden Braaf. I do feel like Sancho's just that little bit more expensive because he's a homegrown English football player, and English clubs buying English football players has a premium on it. Jayden Braaf, he isn't a homegrown English football player, he's Dutch. And so I don't think the value and price would be as demanding for Braaf as what it would be for Sancho right now. But that doesn't mean to say in 2 or 3 seasons' time Braaf couldn't hit the top levels in the Bundesliga. And if there is any club out there that's willing to give top quality young players a chance, it is Borussia Dortmund. And I think putting a sell-on clause or a buyback clause on Braaf leaving would be a good deal. I would be willing to take a little bit less money right now for Braaf if we could have that included in on the deal. That's my opinion. That's normally how City do their transfer business as well, so fingers crossed that does happen. We definitely don't want another Sancho situation there, Brian. I think we've caught up there. I've not heard anything about Ndidi replacing Fernandinho, although I do rate Ndidi. When City played Fulham with Tosin Adarabioyo, I thought Adarabioyo looked very settled. And so I think Fulham's got themselves a very good player, and they're signing for only £2 million. I'll keep an eye on his development though. I'm hoping that he will have a very very good career, not only at Fulham but wherever else he ends up after Fulham as well. And I'll definitely keep an eye on his development there. But I think like I said, when he played against City, when I have watched Fulham, he didn't do anything wrong. So we'll see. Maddison, too expensive. Definitely won't be leaving Leicester. That's a very difficult transfer to get done. Whereas Houssem was a very easy transfer to get done. Apparently, Lyon wanted around €55 million. As my phone's just ringing. 1 second, sorry. Sorry about that. I do apologise. The things of live streams. I'm sorry about that. Apologies if anyone's managed to pick up any of the buzzing or anything. Right. William Carvalho. I've never seen him play, so I can't really comment on whether I'd have him, if I'm honest. Everyone's speaking about the Fernandinho replacements, actually. If you want to know what's happened and everything, just wait till the end of the live stream. You'll be able to play back the video. I've just spoke about a load of transfers. What I do is a nice little bit of fun because obviously we've not got live streams to do with no games and everything. So I thought we'll go live. Grimaldo's a good choice there. Grimaldo's one to keep an eye on. He's small. Not very physical, but with how physical and how good Man City are at the back, putting in a bit of creativity like Grimaldo could work. So, I'm not sure. I'd be happy with Grimaldo just to see how it works. That's my opinion anyway. I've always thought I'd prefer Zakaria over Douglas Louise, but right now, I would prefer Douglas Louise. Premier League proven, good solid player. Certainly can play a rotated option with Rodri as well. And I would like to see how Douglas Louise would perform at Manchester City. So I think he'd be a good option for City to go and pursue. Wilfred Ndidi is a very good option that you mentioned there, Brian. I just think he'd be too expensive, and I don't see City breaking the bank to bring in a defensive midfielder. After all, we can get Douglas Louise for £30 million. And if City do want to spend big on someone like Erling Haaland in the summer, then bringing in someone like Douglas Louise for £30 million would definitely make sense rather than spending £40 or £50 million on bringing in another player. And like I said, Douglas Louise, Premier League proven, had 2 very good seasons at this moment in time with Aston Villa. I think that's a transfer that would excite me. In terms of left backs, I would prefer Alaba as mine. I don't think that'll happen. That'd be my first choice. Second choice, I'd probably have Alex Grimaldo, as I think he's got a lot of creativity there, and he'd be another choice. Theo Hernandez I'd be happy with. And like I said, if City ever wanted to change up their formation, I've seen Pep play it before and went with 3 at the back. If City ever wanted to change their formation and go with 3 centre-backs, my fourth choice would be Angelino to come back. If we're always going to stick with that flat 4, let Angelino leave. I'm very unhappy. He's leaving for such a small amount, by the way, to RB Leipzig. Very unhappy. Less than £20 million. Criminally poor bit of business that by Manchester City. But like I said, if that is the case, and we're not going to play the style of football or the formations that will suit Angelino's development, then he'll have to leave. Like I said, ideally I'd probably be looking for double what we're getting for Angelino, but there we go. I think RB Leipzig would be foolish not to play them games that's in his clause for him to sign for them permanently, just purely because if they don't, I can see Man City selling Angelino and selling him for a lot more than the price we've agreed with RB Leipzig. But then again, this is Man City and the transfer market. Literally anything can happen. What software am I using? I'm using OBS to do my live streams. It's what I use. I've only started using it in June, so I am still learning about everything on it, but it's served me very well so far. I do like using OBS, and like I said, we are learning, and I will get better at it. Injury prone, that's an interesting one. Thoughts on Jack Harrison, a good player. I think his best for his development is for him to stay at Leeds rather than leaving. I think it's too soon for him to potentially Man City to go and try and bring him in. I think if Man City had wanted Jack Harrison, I think would have worked harder to try and keep him here rather than when we sold him to Leeds. Putting a buyback clause or something like that. We haven't, which tells me all I need to know about Man City and keeping Jack Harrison and bringing him back. And so it seems like the ship sailed with Jack Harrison at Manchester City, and instead he's having an outstanding time at Leeds United, which is fantastic for him. Absolutely fantastic for him. So there we go. I think that's literally most transfers addressed here. Ismail Benessa, player that we've been linked with in the past. We'll see if we'll get linked again. I think that's a doable transfer for Manchester City. Whether we will make a move or not remains to be seen. I would be happy with Benesa because I do think he's a good player. How much would he be sold? Could we buy him for? Would be the question there. So we'd have to wait and see. But yeah, like I said, in terms of January transfer business for Manchester City, it will be a case of players leaving Manchester City before we buy players. So we all eyes on which players may be leaving Manchester City and keeping an eye on that man, Alexander Zinchenko. If Zinchenko leaves Manchester City this winter, I am confident Man City will sign a left back this winter. Will that be Theo Hernandez? Will that be Alex Grimaldo? Will that be somebody else? Will it be Lucas Digne that we've been getting linked with? Will that be someone else? Will it be Tagliafico at Ajax? I'll keep you up to date with it though every step of the way. We have daily Manchester City transfer updates for everybody to look forward to. You want to stay in the loop with the latest Manchester City transfer news for them daily Manchester City transfer updates, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on to be notified immediately for when I do upload. So yeah, like I said, subscribe. We're aiming for 14,500 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Let's have a look at how close we are to that target at this moment in time, live right now. We are only 21 subscribers away now. So if you are new around here, then make sure you press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. That would be much appreciated. Social media links are in the description below and also on the banner too if you want to go and follow me on my social media. Email also in the description too and on the screen if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. City Extra in on the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Yes, we've got up there. We've got watch the Xmas Day vlog. I would recommend not watching that video if I'm completely honest, because you'll see just how poor of knowledge I have of Manchester City once you get past my era of me supporting them. So anything before 2002. I need to be doing my research. I need to be topping up on my history if I'm completely honest, because it was borderline embarrassing. But thank you very much for watching that, and thanks for tuning in at City Extra, who are smashing it on the City scene on YouTube and social media, which I've said it all along. Things you love to see. I love seeing City channels doing very well. I love seeing more representation out there. So long may it continue. So thank you very much to City Extra for joining in on the chat there. Much appreciated. Glad you're enjoying the content. So let's speak about my sponsor now. OneFootball. So much to get through. OneFootball. I'm just been non-stop speaking. Why are we... Devastating things to see. Things you love to see. Subscribed. There we go. City Extra, the latest subscriber to the JSGC channel. Things you love to see. So, let's speak about my sponsor, OneFootball. If you want to go and download the OneFootball app, do so through the link at the top of my description. Doing so will take you to the download page for you to go and download the best footballing app out there. It will keep you up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news and news that people have been leaving in the chat, as you can see from before. Also keep you up to date with the latest statistics and also live commentary. And one of my favourite features actually on OneFootball is if you click the game that's happening, it will tell you where you can watch that game live on. So if there's games that are on Sky Sports, it'll tell you that it's on Sky Sports. If it's on BT Sport, then it'll tell you on there. If it's on Amazon Prime or wherever, it'll let you know on there, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, and is exactly what I would be looking for, if I'm completely honest, in a footballing app. And like I said, you want to go and download the best footballing app out there, just press that link at the top of my description. That will also help the future content that I do create on this channel. So, let's speak about other Manchester City stuff now. It has been mentioned a lot about COVID-19. We can't escape away from it, unfortunately. And Manchester City and resuming training. So I'm just going to have a look. Man City have put out a statement just 49 minutes ago. So we'll read through. This is the first I've seen of this because I was live 49 minutes ago. So it says Manchester City can confirm that first team training will resume at the City Football Academy this afternoon. So training has resumed this afternoon at Manchester City. The full COVID-19 bubble underwent testing yesterday. Results have revealed fantastic, no new cases at Manchester City. Safety remains Manchester City's #1 priority, and the club will continue to proceed with great caution. The first team training buildings have undergone a deep clean over the last 48 hours, and the majority of these facilities will remain closed with only essential operations around training resuming. The bubble will undergo further testing in the coming days, the results of which will inform and dictate the next steps. Everyone at Manchester City continues to wish speedy recoveries to all of our colleagues who remain in self-isolation following their positive tests. So everyone that's tested positive at Manchester City are in isolation. Manchester City, it's a very sensible statement they've put out there. The good news there is no new positive cases, which showing the thing isn't spreading around the squad, which means City aren't going to have like a little break now throughout this little part of the season. It's a very crucial part. However, City are exercising caution, and the important part there, the results are going to determine and dictate the next steps for Manchester City. So that match with Chelsea still isn't confirmed as going ahead on Sunday. City will wait for their results to come back first before any further decisions are made. Like I said, big hurdle there. The first testing since having them positive cases have come back with no more positive cases, which means if we can have no more positive cases again in our next testing, then that should be good to go for Manchester City, which is absolutely great news. So I would imagine around Friday or Saturday, the testing before the game is when we'll get clarification on whether that match with Chelsea will go ahead or not, which is going to, I'm sure, be much to the annoyance of Everton, which I'm glad City Extra have put out there about why Everton were so salty. Everton, I put it on Twitter, I said, I have a lot of respect for Everton. They're a club that have to compete with Liverpool, competing with a massive team in their city, and you kind of just get pushed aside, forgotten about. And being Manchester City fans, what we know about that is that Man City, we've always, or certainly when I've been growing up anyway, we've kind of always just been cast aside. You got Manchester United, this big team, the successful team. All I heard about growing up is what happened in '99. Okay, with Manchester United, Sir Alex Ferguson, the Manchester United dynasty, and everyone just forgets about Manchester City and you get pushed aside. And it's much the same for Everton as well. You got Everton there, a very prestigious club, a good club in my opinion too. Get pushed aside by Liverpool, the giant that sits in their city. And so I've always had a lot of respect because of that for Everton. And then Everton go and release them statements on Monday, saying they were very unhappy, and I can understand why they were unhappy. I can understand that. However, they were demanding information off Manchester City, and what irked me the most was the fact that Everton did not wish a speedy recovery to any of the Manchester City personnel that had been affected by coronavirus. And so that to me was tasteless, tactful, and quite simply not very nice. I didn't like that. And so because of that, I have lost respect for Everton. And I think Everton are going to be even more annoyed by that statement that's been put out by Manchester City, because it's looking more and more likely that Man City their match against Chelsea is going to go ahead. City aren't wanting a fixture pile-up. This hasn't been done on purpose by Manchester City. This isn't Manchester City looking to get games postponed because we've got first-team players out because of coronavirus. This is down to the fact that Man City have been something's been picked up. The Man City believe from their stay at a hotel for our match against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup just before Christmas, and because of that, from there, Man City haven't wanted to continue to spread that, and that's why that game with Everton has been called off. 2 testings, 2 positive cases have happened consecutive, which means something could be happening, which is a case of you stop. That's why Everton, I just didn't understand their statement at all. Just didn't understand that. So, there we go. So, DVD, we've got tuning in. So, City Extra, a big fan of DVD. I have a lot of respect for City Extra and all the JSGC fans and the City Extra fans, because I imagine a lot of our fans are probably the same people. So, yeah, thank you for DVD for tuning in there. City Extra, thanks for tuning in as well. Albert wanting Scott Carson to start for Manchester City. Do I play FIFA? Yes, and I hate the game. Absolutely despise the game. Horrible. It's the worst game in the world. I hate it so much. I don't know why I buy it. I play it for a few days, 2 days, and I just get bored of it really easily, and I just get fed up of playing it. I just don't have any enjoyment out of it. I mean, to me, FIFA peaked, 2015, something like that. And then from there, I've not really played it. I play it, like I said, for a couple of days when it comes out. For some reason, I buy it, and I don't know why, if I'm honest. I like the stadiums in it, though. I do like looking at all the different stadiums, particularly the Championship teams that are promoted, seeing their stadiums come in if they've not been in the Premier League previously, which is what I do like there. JSGC versus Lewis. I'm sure Lewis would win that one, if I'm completely honest. Because I'm just not that good. That is nice. JSGC versus LB. Love it. Love it. You know what? I get so distracted I get distracted very easily, actually. There's a mess behind me, so I need to be very careful. But if I just move my chair, 1 sec. Let's have a look. 1 sec. If I just move my chair, we can just see, right in my background, we've got the mini fridge up here, which you'll have seen if you follow me on Instagram, that it's on there, stocked full of my favourite cider, Stella Artois cider. So that match against Chelsea better be going ahead on Sunday, because I want to get a couple of them down me. It's ice cold in there too. We need to get that going. We need to get that one going. JSGC versus Geordie Pordy. It's just not happening, this FIFA thing. It's not happening. I'm not very good at it. I don't like playing it. So, there we go. Although I think it might be quite entertaining to watch me get hammered. There we go. Things I'd do for entertainment. Oh, man. My stance for City Extra is the exact same there. City content creators, just support each other. There you go. We're all doing the same thing. And I don't get it. I don't get why you would want to hold anything against anybody else, if I'm honest. And I do see things from time to time with things happening. I just time out, not getting involved in that. And I do get the odd comment here and there with things nitpicking at it and stuff like that, which again, like I said, time out, not getting involved in it, if I'm completely honest. I want all City channels to do very well, like I said. Oh, yeah, I'd get smacked. I would. It'd happen. I mean, I've played FIFA 21. I've played 3 days. Okay, that's how much FIFA I've played. 3 days, and that'll be. I won't play it again. There we go. To be honest, actually, now we're on FIFA 21. Now it's casting my mind. Actually, does no one else find the defense on FIFA 21 really poor? There has been time from time when I'm not used to playing FIFA because I've not played it for so long that I struggle to score goals yet. I went on FIFA 21 and yet I don't struggle to score goals. And there's some crazy score lines out there, 7-3, 6-4, 6-5, things like that. And I don't really get it. There we go. See, people, FIFA. It's a popular game. It's just a bit of a there you go. Do you know what? Where's that comment there from Rohan? What we need, a summer transfer special featuring JSGC, Esteemed Company and City Extra. The City collab. That would be brilliant. What a collab that would be. I will have a... It's not alcohol in here, but I will have a drink to that one, because that would be a collab and a half. Ah, that is nice. That is very nice. Ah. Right. Is there anything else for me to talk about, is the question. That is the question. I don't really think there is too much else actually out there. If I'm honest, we've got through transfers. Stella... Ugh. Stella Cider. Cidra. French-speaking part of Belgium. The creamiest, sweetest, nicest tasting cider I have ever tasted. And I've tasted a lot of cider over the years. This is premium quality. If I was to compare it to flying, you have some brands out there, such as Bulmers, which is Ryanair. Stella Cidra, for example, is Etihad first class. That is the levels of alcohol that we are talking. They don't sell this in the supermarket, so this has been very hard for me to get hold of. But thanks to my contacts at Mixid, he's managed to get hold of some for me. And that is what we are looking for. I mean, we all know I'm pushing for a Stella Cidra promo right there. So if they're watching, they need the sponsor. They need it building on there. That's what we need. We need it in the background, full out Stella Cider for the background. Because that is excellent. I'm going to put it back because I'm not having a drink. Oh. There we go. Bam. Move my chair back. We do. The beer sponsor. Just out of interest, which beer sponsor would you like? I need the cider one. I think beer sponsor would be wasted on me, if I'm honest. I love how this live stream's just turned into a communication between me and City Extra. There we go. Speaking of things we've got happening in the background, I've shown this on live stream before. This is excellent. This, how awesome is that? Hand painted, a gift for me. That is sensational right there. Oh, there we go. Stella always. Stella always. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Does it really... The thing is... City... Who am I chatting to at City Extra? Fairly sure I follow Louise on Instagram, so I'll be able to DM where I got that from if you want, and then get back to you if you want. Aaron going for Guinness. Actually, I'm gonna say Louise. I'll DM you on Instagram where I got it from. What I'm gonna do, it's not a sponsor because I'm not getting paid to do it. But what I was going to do is I was going to do a video right at the beginning where who's done this. I was going to give them a big shout out with a link, but I've not got round to it yet, which is why I put the picture just below me on the desk here. So it reminds me to do that because I am very forgetful. So I will DM you their Facebook page where I got that done. It's from I think I'm not sure if they're semi-professional or an amateur artist in Manchester. Said it was a gift for me. So there we go. Right. I don't really think there's too much else for me to talk about, if I'm completely honest. Mixid's getting some love now. Mixid's getting some love. Things you love to see as well. Yeah. Where is your white lighting special? What do you mean, my white lighting special? Was I going to do a special video on white lighting? Oh, man. Right, yeah, I don't really think there's too much else for me to talk about. I mean, we've got over 100 likes, which is always what we're looking for. We all love a good bit of interaction, don't we? Which is absolutely fantastic. Don't really think there's too much to address. It's good news that Man City, no positive cases have come back from our latest round of testing. So that's positive now, going through to our match against Chelsea on Sunday, which, fingers crossed, will go ahead now. We've addressed all the transfer rumours, so it's only thing coming now is daily Manchester City transfer updates. We've got 2 videos coming out tomorrow, our last 2 videos of 2020, which have both got a transfer theme to them. I'm going to have a good look at some of the players that we spoke about in this video. I'm going to speak about them in tomorrow's videos, including left backs. So, yeah, we'll have them videos for everybody to look forward to, and hopefully we can hit the 14,500 subscribers, is what I'm hoping for, before the year is out, which would be absolutely brilliant. And then we'll have that big push at the into January to go and hit 15,000 subscribers, which is absolutely sensational as far as I am concerned. So, yeah, Adam, in terms of live, it's my chance to now say Happy New Year to everybody. 2020, quite frankly, has been horrendously bad. I'm not too sure if 2021 is going to be too much better. Here is hoping that it will. In terms of actual personal YouTube, YouTube success, 2020 has been outstandingly successful for the JSGC channel. So we look to them positives. I'm ecstatic that I've been able to provide you all with the Manchester City content, which I hope everybody does enjoy. And like I said, we've got plenty more to come in the new year. Sean, Happy New Year to you. Mixid, even though you're my brother, Happy New Year to you. Adam, Happy New Year to you. City Extra as well, so to Louise, Geordie and Freddie as well. Happy New Year to you guys as well, and everyone else associated with City Extra. And Jedi, Happy New Year to you. And we'll be back again with them 2 videos. And then here we go, baby. Daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the January transfer window. It's hard work doing daily Manchester City transfer updates whilst doing live streams, live watch-alongs, other videos and working full-time, but here we go. We're going to need that fridge fully stocked up. I'll see you on the other side. So I've been JSGC. I hope everyone has enjoyed the live stream. Please do leave a thumbs up on this live stream if you did enjoy the video. Don't forget social media links in the description below and on the banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also on the banner too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries that include you, Stella Artois Cider. Get the sponsorship going. Don't forget, go and download the OneFootball app through the link at the top of my description. Any help towards that would be much appreciated in helping to support the future content created on this channel. OneFootball, the best footballing app out there to keep you up to date with the latest news, transfer news, scores, statistics, all that good stuff. Go and download the app through the link at the top of my description. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Happy New Year to everybody, and I will see you all again for the next video very soon, and hopefully back Sunday for another live stream for the watch-along game of the Chelsea game for then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now. Happy New Year, everybody.